Hey guys, so in the next video I want to start creating abilities, but before we can do that, we currently have some issues that can potentially be game breaking, so we should fix those before we move on. First thing is that if you press and release right mouse button, you can get out of any action. So let me show you. If you attack and then spamming right mouse button and attacking at the same time, you're basically removing action when you release right mouse button and then you can attack again. So this is really wrong. We shouldn't have this because this basically lets us like spam attacks from the beginning and stuff. So we need to prevent it. And then the second big issue I want to fix, it's something that I kind of just realized now. It is stupid, but our parry, as it is, you can just spam right mouse button and then, you know, you will be able to block pretty much anything if you're fast enough. I wasn't fast for the first attack, but not even for this one. But you know what I mean. If you spam right mouse button quick enough, you can block multiple enemies at the same time because there is no sort of cooldown or anything to it. So, you know, I can just keep blocking these guys by spamming it. That's not good either. So we will have to rework it and set it to different button. And that way we can actually play the whole animation for parry. And it will be a little bit better because, you know, that will give you a little bit of cooldown. So if you miss, the enemies will actually hit you. You won't be blocking or anything. So that's pretty much how it is set up in different games. I just thought I could work my way around it. So we'll have to switch it. And then the last issue is just so we can fix the enemies hitting each other. Alright, so let's start with the first one. So the fact that when we release right mouse button, we actually enable action. So in event graph, what is event graph? Event graph here, close all the tabs. Let's go to input action right mouse button. And why it is happening is because just anytime, it doesn't matter when, we just release the right mouse button, it is removing current action and stuff. So this won't work very well. We need to actually check if we're already executing blocks. So let's get the gameplay tags. Copy it, check if it has tag, and this will be character actions blocking. So only if we are already blocking, do branch, connect cancelled and completed. Connect this one here, it can be exact match. And only if we have this tag already, then we can remove current action tag connected here. This one, remove gameplay tag, this is just to check if we are holding the button. So it cannot be hidden behind another check. We need to actually do it here because it's added before the action here. It is just because to check if you're actually holding the button. So this will be useful later for like continuing block and stuff like that. So we need to have it set up here. Connect it. And this is pretty much the setup that will prevent it. This cancel RMB just goes to here, remove current action tag. We don't really need to remove this holding right mouse button because we will remove it when we actually release it. This is just for when we get staggered, it will automatically cancel all of them. So we won't have a blocking stamina anyway to continue block, so it doesn't matter if this is released or not. So this is pretty much it. Let's play the game. Test it out. And now if I attack and spam right mouse button, I need to finish the attack first before I block. Alright, so that's fixed. Second thing, and this is going to be main part of this video, is fixing this parry. So what we need to do is set up new button, untangle it from here, and then set it up on that new button. So first thing, let's go to third person, input, actions. We can duplicate this RMB or anything that we created. It doesn't have any modifiers. At least mine doesn't. If your one has, just, you know, I'll show you later. You will have to do trigger on press on started. So this one will be parry. And as I said, it doesn't have any modifiers, triggers or modifiers. So it's just basic one. So go to back to input, and here in the default, we're going to add mapping, This will be parry, and you can set it to some button. I recommend using something close to WSAD, so you can press it quickly. I'm going to use Q, because that's probably the fastest button in gaming to press apart from movement. So Q, and then in player, let's give ourselves some free space. I'm going to move all this down. I should really start commenting it as well, because it's hard to locate things. It's too many events now, but I'll move this down so we can set up parry just under the block. So let's go back to actions, drag out the parry. I'm going to save all just in case. And now, since I don't have any modifiers, we need to do it on started. And what we want to do here is do branch. We're going to create parry as a separate action. So that way it will have to play the whole montage of parry and we won't be able to do anything else, which is good because we can get hit in that time if we miss. So we will do can execute action and connect it to condition. And if it's true, we're going to get gameplay tags. And we need to first done what we've done here, which is on block we do have this gameplay tag parry. So control exit, add it. Let's just paste it quickly here for now. And then also let's remove this delay after we turn off the parry. So Control and X as well. That's all pretty much for parry. And then paste it here. So this one, since I said we're going to set up parry as an action, we need to add it to actions as well, but we do have a parry in status. So what I'm going to rename this to, this is going to be perfect parry instead of parry, and then we can set up parry in the actions. For that, let's select gameplay tags. Here, go to manage gameplay tags. And we need to go to character, status, parry. And as I said, let's rename it to perfect parry, because that's what it is. It is only there for like 0.1 seconds, where we can actually stagger the enemy. So perfect parry, rename. This will require you to restart the engine, so do that. And after you have restarted it, let's go back to player. And now this should be changed to perfect parry. You can see it. So add gameplay tag perfect parry. And now we also need to create the parry one. So gameplay tags, go to characters, actions, and under actions, sorry, let's add sub tag, which will be parry. Add new tag. And we need to just right click and search for set current action tag, which is our function for setting the current tag. And this will be character actions parry. Careful. So this is perfect parry here, and this is parry. Perfect parry we're going to basically turn off. But first we need to play montage. Connect mesh. And for montage, let's drag out and do select. And here we're going to select based on current combat type. And just select all of your parry montages. So parry, 100 parry, 200 parry, weapon shield parry, and dual wield parry. Don't have one for bow or for no weapon. So that's set up. And then this time, not on completed, but on regular execution pin, we want to do delay 0.1 seconds. And after that, we're going to remove perfect parry. So only for 0.1 seconds, we're going to have it. If you feel like, as I said before, if you feel like it's too short, you're not able to hit parry, do 0.2 or even 0.3. But I think this is a good amount. And let me just check these montages, because this one I felt like it was a little bit too slow for dual wield. Every other one is faster, and this is 2 weapons, so it should be fast as well. 100, it's fine. 200, why is he spinning the arm? I'll have to fix the animation. I didn't even notice that because 200 is holding it only in one hand, but he's spinning completely the wrist. So that will need to be fixed. And then weapon and shield. That might even be too fast. I'm going to do 1.4. Yeah, that's better. Again, save all. And then in player, this is pretty much the whole setup. And instead of doing all of the can execute action notifies inside every montage, since they are very quick, less than 1 second, it's going to be better if we do on completed. We will just manually set that we can execute action. So we will on completed do remove current action tag, and that's pretty much it. That should let us parry and stop parrying. So let me try quickly. So if I press Q, you can see I'm parrying. I'm not able to move, so I'm running and I stop because it's a root motion, and I can't spam it because it's an action now, so it needs to finish. So that's good, because if we miss, we get hit, as I said, and there will be a little bit of delay. And now what I want to set up is I want to be able to parry during the block as we had it before. So if I'm holding the block, I also want to be able to parry because we're smashing with a shield, so it kind of makes sense. So for that, we need to change it a little bit. So in the player, here when we can execute action, we're going to do one exception. So or boolean, get gameplay tags, copy it, paste it, and check has tag. And this time we're going to check character actions blocking. I'm just checking if we are stunned. Are we removing the block? It should be fine. So this way, if we do exact match here as well. So this way, if it's the blocking action we're doing, we will be still able to execute this, but we need to remove. We need to cancel the right mouse button events, which is this event here. That will cancel it. So cancel RMB just for this brief duration of this montage. But then we also want to continue. If we're still holding the right mouse button and we just parry, we want to go back to block. So here after remove current action tag, we're going to do continue action. But since we are not resetting input inside these montages, and here in continue action, it's not the message, by the way, it's the one because we're calling the same same actor, basically same player, so we're executing it here. It will just call this continue action. And as I said, since we're not resetting the input, it won't always go to right mouse button. So what we want to do is first we want to check for all of the actions if we're still holding the right mouse button, because that way we want to go back to holding right mouse button, which will be much nicer than actually having to press it. So let's say you attack, you reset the input in that montage, and then you press and you press right mouse button straight away when the attack starts before you reset it. Then when the attack ends and you're still holding right mouse button, you won't originally go to blocking. But this one, it will check if you're still blocking, and it will, no matter what, it will go back to block. This will be really nice for later when we have bow set up, because on the right mouse button you will have bow aiming. So anytime you hold it, it will go back to bow aim. So holding RMB goes to RMB. Sorry, this needs to be on false and this needs to be on true. We're going to just do this continue RMB. And here we will still check it because that will prevent some issues. I'm not going to explain it because it's like with the reset thing. If you press it right after, it will still go here, but when you release, it might still do this check and then it will be wrong. So leave it as it is. You can test it out more if you like, but this is how it's going to work. So now if I play the game and I block and now press Q. I parry and I go back to block. There's a little bit of time before I actually start blocking. If I'm moving, it's a little bit more obvious, but it's basically going right into block. I think on maybe on the block we should set inertialization. That will probably prevent it, but I'll leave it as it is, because usually when you're parrying, you're standing on a place and you're trying to parry. And now let's test it out if I can actually parry. I missed. It's a little bit harder with two enemies. I can't focus on one attack. Come here. Missed. Missed. Can I actually parry? Alright. Okay, what we forgot to set up is in the combat component, since we changed the stack to perfect parry, it disconnected the parry event. So connect it back, and then in the parry event, double click on it. This is in take damage function. Double click on this parry event. Here we spawning system at location, that's fine. Spawn sounds, start camera shake, we want to do all that. We don't want to play parry montage because we're already playing it. So delete this, do stagger, and let's go to player. Find play parry montage. Play parry montage, double click on it, and it's here. So this playing, we won't be doing it, but we do have this global time dilation. So Control and X, remove it from here, remove this play parry montage, compile and save, go to combat component, and we're going to paste it here after the stagger. Don't do it before, because then you will be waiting for 2 seconds before you can stagger, because the time dilation and stuff. So remove, like set time dilation to 0.1, so 10 times slower. This will be 2 seconds delay, and then set global time dilation to normal. So now I should be able to parry. We can also remove that play parry montage from combat BPI, so we don't have empty functions there. So blueprints, combat BPI, interfaces, combat BPI, conditions, combat, parry, play parry montage, delete. And now let me try to block. Oh, parry, sorry, not block. So get one enemy and Q. Come on. There we go. Let me try again. And you don't even have to block, obvious. Oh, this guy didn't. Okay, so there is one more issue that I think it was. This guy is not working. I think it was because of the stagger and stun at the same time. Let me check. Event stagger. Is that stagger on perfect parry? Yeah. So here what we want to do also is on interrupted, which will be when we get stunned, we will play stun animation, so it gets interrupted. So we need to set sensing updates. So on interrupted, set sensing updates. This was just because when you stagger an enemy and stun him after, it will interrupt that and it will never get the pawn sensing updates. So I think I stunned him forever basically. Alright, get one enemy. Let's try to stagger him again. Attack. Alright, stunned and staggered. I think I got 100% chance to stun. And he's moving. And that's working fine. And as I said, you don't have to actually block first. You can just parry anytime. Like from the back. But yeah, I'm really crap at it. Obviously, I can't time it very well. So maybe for me it would be good to have it like half a second long that perfect parry. Alright, so that's another issue done. Let's fix the enemies hitting each other. For that, let's set up tag on the enemy. So select this enemy BP, search for tags, not these ones, but find actor tags. And here, if you want, we can do different tags for different group of enemies, because some games, what you do, you can pull the enemies to different boss or something, and the boss will kill them if he hits them and stuff. They will start fighting. So you could set like a group of enemies, humans, and they won't attack each other, but they will attack other groups or animals and stuff like that. But for now, I'm only going to do enemy tag. And on player, I'm going to set up player tag. So tag, we do have a player. Okay, so in that case, in the player, also what we need to do is in gameplay tags, we're going to create one more variable, default value, and the character checks. Yeah, let's add it here. So add subtag, and this will just be is player. Add new tag. And now by default we could check it here in the player that it's actually a player, but I don't want to have any tag selected because then it can get quite confusing. So we're going to do it on construction script instead. Don't do it on begin play because then it won't reach combat component on time. It needs to be on construction. So open construction script, and here we're going to get gameplay tags, add gameplay tag, and this will be character checks is player. Compile and save. Now let's go to combat components. On begin play here, we're going to get owner, get gameplay tags, which is our interface function. So get gameplay tags message. That will give us gameplay tags, and we're going to check if it has tag and character checks is player. We only need to check if it's player, and then we can promote it to variable. This will be useful later because we'll need to know if the player is attacking or enemy. So player is player can be the same, is player, and set it. And now in the line traces, what we want to do is first, let's, from this hit actor, let's get actor has tag, get it twice, and first one will be, we'll check if it's player, second one will check if it's enemy, and then we need to, this we need to rework. So delete it, and we will get function is valid because that will give us Boolean variable. And we can do if the actor is valid and Boolean it has tag, but we need to check which tag. So from this end, do select based on if it's a player, and if this component belongs to the player, then we're checking for enemy tag. So true goes to enemy. If it's false, it belongs to the enemy. That means we're checking for the player tag. And then Boolean, and here do branch this time. One more thing we need to check, we're also destroying the objects, and we are just checking enemy trace and then passing it on. What we need to do is check for breakables as well. So here we're going to do or Boolean, actor has tag again. I don't have space here anymore. Actor has tag again. This I'll have to move down. Or Boolean, and here in the box, let's set up, or whatever it's called, in actor, in a wooden crate, let's also set up tag, which will be our, I'm going to call it breakables with capital B. This will have to be set up on anything that you actually want to break, but most of it will be child of this crate anyway, so it doesn't matter. So copy it, add it to combat components, here paste it, so it's the same. So if it's player or an enemy or breakable boxes, we're going to continue with this. Now this time we need to Control X these actors to ignore and add it before this, otherwise it will be hitting the same actor 100 times with the same line trace, and it will be checking this, checking this, checking this, so you don't want that. Connect the hit actor, and this is it. Alright, and this is a little bit complicated, so let's select all of these booleans, right click, collapse to macro, and this will be has correct tag or something. Has correct tag. Hit actor is pretty much the same. It needs to be this object. Oh. One is actor, one is object. Why? Oh, okay, never mind. So this one goes here, this one goes here. Object and actor. Event graph. There go. Ah, because we check invalid object. Okay, so it changes. Right, so now we can copy it. We do have a second line trace for offhand. We need to do the same thing. Remove this part, paste it here, add branch from true, this, Control and X, just make it the same as the one on top. This one goes first from hit actor. Hit actor goes to both object and it goes both to self as well. And add it. Compile and save. Let me add more enemies so we can see if they're hitting each other. Let me check if this breaks. It doesn't. Wooden crate, breakables, actor tags. So I messed up something in combat components, correct tag, breakables. Ah, okay, I messed up the output. So it needs to be from, this needs to go, by the way, to, what have I done? So and this, so this together, or this actor tag goes to return value. That's it, I messed it up. So have a look at it again, and then in event graph, don't need to change anything, that should be correct. One more test. Let me break the box. Still doesn't work. So object is valid, true, and based on a tag, if it's true, it's enemy, yeah. If it's false, it's player. Breakables, or checking the validity now, maybe that's why. Or hit actor has, it should still work. Actor has tag breakables. For some reason this is returning false. Ah no, didn't connect it? Yeah, I didn't connect it anywhere. True, stupid me. Alright. For the third time, let's see. Pick up, break, there we go, breakable boxes. Let me attack enemies, I can attack them. Let them attack each other. As you can see, they can't anymore. They're only attacking me. So that is working fine. Alright, so that's all the issues that I have noticed at least fixed. There is one small one that someone noticed from very long time ago, And this was just something that I forgot to connect. It's not a bug or anything, but if you go to your actors, and not in actors, it's still in items, and open your loot bag, here this key item info needs to be set to key item info. This was like really stupid, but if you were to loot just the key from the loot bag and then reopen it, it will still be there. So on event update inventory, do this. There is actually one more big issue that I have noticed, and that is if we get stunned during executing some action, we will never remove that action tag, so we won't be able to do anything. Let me show you. So if I execute attack, so I started the attack, I got stunned. Now I just kind of need to get out of this stun. And now I'm not able to do anything because that montage was basically interrupted and that tag stayed. So it was never removed, so I'm still executing action, I can't do anything. The way we're going to fix it is when we get stunned, we're going to reset the tag. So let's create new interface function for it quickly. So in the combat BPI, where are we? Interfaces, combat BPI. Let's add new function, and this one will be reset all actions. Reset all actions. Compile and save. And we're going to call it from condition components. So blueprints, components, and condition components. And here, exactly in this set condition, when we set stunned, we're going to get owner and reset all actions. Just here on a true branch. Compile and save, and in the player we will call it so reset all actions. Double click on it, and we're just going to remove current action tag. Alright, so that will remove it, any action tag that we're doing, if it's block, if it's attack, or anything else. So now I should be fine when I need to attack him first before he stuns me. So like this, I started attack. Now this guy needs to kind of get past me again. And now I can execute actions, so it's fine. But yeah, as I said, all of the issues are fixed now, hopefully. So now we can actually start creating abilities. Like, you know, just abilities to, I don't know, execute different attacks and something that will actually cost you resources or like, I don't know, mana and stuff like that. So different abilities, buffs and stuff. So I'll see you in the next one.